there's this thing in Philadelphia. Plane crashes in Philadelphia as first responders race to scene. Plane crashes in Philadelphia, igniting inferno near homes and mall. The plane took off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport.
Of what's
Mr. Pizza said in the chat,
this is bad.
Focus on the present. Don't dwell on the past. Try not to focus on the time rapidly flying by. Don't keep worrying about dying. Live your life. Accomplish as much as you can. Have fun.
That's true. That's true. The only thing about that, though, is I think sometimes people use that mentality to like stay in place. That's why I said earlier, to have purpose in your life, because, you know, have some goals in your life. Strive towards those goals. You don't want to be like sitting around for like 10 years not going anywhere and then having regret later, or be like about to die and you're like, whoa, there were all these things I wanted to do. Why didn't I do any of that? You know, so live with intentionality. Yeah, like be aware of your mortality, but also, you know, live intentionally for sure.
Backhand index pointing up.
It says here, a plane reportedly crashed on a street near the Roosevelt Mall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Friday night, igniting nearby cars and homes in flames. The crash happened at about 6 p.m. after a plane took off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport. The city of Philadelphia posted an X calling the incident major. A major incident near Cotman and Bustleton Avenues in Northeast Philadelphia, across from Roosevelt Mall, according to the Post. Roads closed in the area include parts of Roosevelt Boulevard, a void area. A video shows the plane loudly crashing in the distance with a burst of light covering the area. I do not want to see that video. This is just sad. Developing story. So there's not a lot of details. I wonder if Live Now from Fox has put out something about this. They're usually pretty good. They're one of my favorite news sources on YouTube. No, I guess not. Hold on.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Live picture there in Philadelphia. We do have some breaking news there in the city of brotherly love. I want to put this tweet up from our colleague there at Fox 29. Reporter Chris O'Connell, he says there have been several reports of a plane crash into a building in Northeast Philadelphia. Fox 29 Philadelphia have been covering this story within the last few minutes. They are sending reporters to the scene. I believe some of those reporters are on the scene as well here. You can see Steve Keeley shooting this video from his cell phone. He says bulletin airplane crash there on Roosevelt Boulevard. He says fires burning in multiple spots on Cotman Avenue. He says pieces of airplane scattered there on the ground. Jason Martinez with this video, saying this is being described as a plane crash in the area of Bustleton and Cotman Avenues in Northeast Philly. That's a doorbell camera provided by a viewer there to Fox 29. Let's take it full here. Look at that.
I don't want to watch that.
This is Jason Martinez here in Northeast Philadelphia. Screen, you saw the fireball come out of the sky. Again, this is being described to us as a plane crash, Northeast Philadelphia, in the area of Bustleton and Cotman Avenues. You saw the left of your screen, the fireball come right out. Take another closer look there. And so this just happening here in the last 20 minutes or so. Again, Northeast Philadelphia. I believe we have Steve Keeley in the area on the phone. Steve, what can you tell us? Do we have Steve? We do not appear to have Steve at the moment. As soon as we get him, we'll bring it to you. But again, viewer-provided video from a doorbell camera in Northeast Philadelphia showing a fireball fall out of the sky. Of course, the Northeast Philly Airport, just less than a mile away from this location. And so a lot of viewers have been calling our newsroom and telling us that they believe this was a plane crash in this area of Bustleton and Cotman. But this doorbell camera video makes you question exactly what we're seeing. Here's a closer look, and really I can only describe that as a fireball that falls out of the sky. And again, this is Roosevelt Mall, I believe.
It just goes directly into the ground.
And
What
this
happened?
is ground video that we're just getting in. You're seeing it as I'm seeing it. Police taping the area off, smoke
Did they run out of
and
fuel or
debris
something,
in this
or-
area. And this is, of course, all happening as we
Fall
are
asleep
still
at the
sorting
wheel?
through a plane crash that happened in D.C. No word on the size of the plane that crashed, what caused it. We are just learning this. There's some.
Stay back here. I'm gonna.
Okay, now we have Steve. Steve, if
I
you can
mean,
hear me.
I can't imagine that this is connected to the DCA crash because, Philadelphia, unless there's some sort of major FAA issue, because I think FAA covers the entire United States. Unless there's some sort of major FAA issue or major staffing issue, like Philadelphia, DC, not exactly next door neighbors.
What can you tell us?
Jason, I was just warned. I'm fairly close. I was nearby. This happened at 6 o'clock. I got it confirmed by 6:13 and 6:14. And then a top commander in the department told me his house shook. He called the bomb squad, and they told him a plane had crashed. Then lots of calls came in. I was nearby. I saw everybody racing over here. I raced with them. I'm looking at 2 fires going right now on Cottman Avenue. I'm standing in one of the driveways to the Roosevelt Mall. As I ran over here, I parked in the McDonald's at Cottman and the Boulevard. I wondered what I was tripping over, and it was pieces of an airplane scattered in the mall parking lot. They then began roping that off, and the heavy smell of jet fuel is in the air and has been in the air. There is still black smoke. The fires are not under control, and then an officer just told me to take cover behind the police and fire vehicle I'm there because there's a gas line nearby. Another commander told me cars were on fire. This was in rush hour. I know it because I was just on Cottman Avenue seconds before this, approaching the Boulevard.
And imagine, if you, this is, I believe, I don't know if this is from a local affiliate, but that footage is from a local affiliate. This is a local guy who's on the ground reporting. Imagine being a reporter who lives there, who you're your local news, right? Like you live there. You drive through these streets to go to work and to go back home. It's got to be crazy to try to hold your composure and still present the news here when something like this is hitting your hometown, the place where you actually live.
When this plane crashed. So it was wall-to-wall cars approaching Cottman and the Boulevard, so people were stopped in traffic. I don't know if cars are on fire in front of me or parts of the plane, but it looks like multiple fires, and the fires are not right next to each other. They're a good 100 yards from each other, so there is a string of damage and a string of fires. This mall is under some kind of construction, so they have a tarp around about a 6-foot-tall tent. Every police officer, every fire department member in the city must be up here right now, and there's still more coming on the way. There is so much smoke in the air going right over the mall right here, and this mall was packed too. They had to move all the people back for their own good, and the air quality is not good for them, but everybody was out here. Now I can see one car I'm looking through the fence, Jason. I'm looking down in front of the Dunkin' Donuts on Cottman, and again, this is right before the Boulevard.
That's
right
going directly into the ground, man.
SUV is on fire, and the flames are all through the street. And there's so many fires here, and the fire department's also trying to worry about that gas line that's in danger. Now I'm counting the fires, Jason. 1, 2, 3, 4 fires I can see right here, all spread out along Cottman Avenue right now. Steve, I can't see what's burning.
Steve, we are looking at viewer doorbell camera of what looks like just a fireball falling out of the sky, and as this plane hits the ground, just flames, just immense. And we see a shot now on the ground. We see looks like some cars are on fire here. You say you smell jet fuel?
Yeah, I can still smell it. There's a smell of fuel in the air, a heavy smell. And if they're reporting a fireball falling out of the sky, the parts of the airplane I saw were not burned. And again, we're near Northeast Philly Airport. It would be an unreal coincidence if there was another midair collision here. I don't know, but and I didn't see any fireball in the sky because I haven't seen that video yet. I'm only on the phone here with you.
So is he insinuating that what might have happened here was 2 planes collided in the air, and then part of the plane fell, there are other parts falling all over the place, and one part of the plane fell and hit the mall? Because I from the headlines I saw, now this is a very developing story, but from the headlines that I saw, they made it seem like the plane was hitting the mall. But if it's the plane is falling into all these different pieces, it would make sense that, you know, a pretty big piece that's got like fuel and stuff in it comes crashing down, hits the building, and causes an explosion. But that's a pretty big explosion for just a part of the plane, though. I don't know. I'm no expert.
But the parts of the airplane I saw did not have any burn marks on them. And again, I'm just trampling over them. And in the first video I sent in and put on, I'm tripping over the airplane parts before I realize what I'm tripping on. And then an officer says, hey, this is a debris field here from the airplane, and that's it. So we don't know what happened. We just know that an airplane crashed here somehow, and there's parts of the airplane long before where the fires are burning. They're in the Roosevelt Mall parking lot in front of the T-Mobile store, and that is a good 200, 300, 400 yards from where I'm looking at a fire burning right now outside the driveway of the Roosevelt Mall. So who knows what happened? I'm sure police don't know what happened. They're just trying to rescue people, and we don't know how many people were in cars here, and their lives were in danger as well. So this is ongoing, and now the smoke, I'm trying to get out of the smoke has adjusted. I'm trying to move so I can breathe and see here, Jason. But the smoke is now shifting all different ways. Wow.
It sounds like the debris field is at least a couple of blocks wide. And as you said, it would be, you know, you've got the Northeast Philly Airport not too far away. How far is the Northeast Philly Airport from you, from where you're standing?
One other thing, Jason, I'm hearing minor explosions out. When I got here, I was hearing explosions. I don't know if they were gas tanks or car tires that blow up when they're burning on fire as well. The Northeast Philly Airport is very close to here. In fact, when you're up here at Cottman and the Boulevard, you'll see the planes coming and going, and that is a very busy airport. Smaller jets, but jets and helicopters and everything is flying out of the Northeast Philly Airport. So it's not like one of those Jersey Shore airports where you see a plane every now and then. That is a busy airport here in Northeast Philadelphia, as the roads are busy.
That's a pretty awful story. I mean, most important thing, in a situation like this, especially when something is developing, is honestly going to be just to pray for whoever is might be injured, that in that accident, that they might heal as quickly as reasonably possible, and also that there are minimal casualties, about as minimal as you could expect with something like this. Yeah, it seems like we don't even know the extent of whether or not it was on a collision. The plane disintegrated and fell apart. Someone fell asleep at the wheel and just nosedived. Yeah, pretty horrific scene there in Philadelphia, and it's not going to be one that you could just easily heal from.